And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and running. So either message or email me directly. Link is on main, and we can set that up, okay? So, how has it been? I know on my end, there haven't been uploads as consistently for the past few months now, I believe. A lot of things changed in my life and adapting and trying to make things work out. But also, things are changing very rapidly for many people around me. In knowing this, it didn't feel as genuine anymore to do the first and last. That style of reading, if you've seen my videos before, we had the aces on top, tens on the bottom, and try to see as we cycle through months and times, also cycling through energy, yeah? So I decided to switch it up a bit. Instead of doing first and last, we're doing what's called As Things Change, ATCs, where we examine the fives, or the conflict points, the middle of the roads, right? If you've seen this in my Learn With Me series, that's also a playlist on the channel where we talk about all the 78 cards in the deck. The fives are cards of conflict, represented by water, earth, fire, and air, cups, pentacles, wands, and swords, respectively. And with conflict comes, hey, here's a problem. What kind of resolution can we get to? So instead of, seeing what's going in, what's going out, and maybe we'll come around to the conflict, we dive right into the conflict directly and hopefully come to some better conclusions and answers thereafter. With that being said, Gemini, as a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, when it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, I try to take very good care of all 12 signs as I move through all the reads. Instead, just lay your cards out on the table, and come good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it. Because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one. So follow along with me in your ATC read today, Gemini. As things change, let's look about it. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. We're going to start over here with your Five of Cups. What's going on in the emotional realm? Show us the cards that we need to see, please. I'll turn that on a bit. For Gemini upon their Five of Cups in this read. Nice, but there we go. Okay. So the notion of powerlessness. Why? That Eight of Swords is coming out underneath the Five of Cups. What did we learn about it? Show us cards we need to see, please. For Gemini in this read. That's a break, so I'll reshuffle. What are the cards you need to see, please, for Gemini in this read? Because we already had the Eight of Swords fly out, which is very interesting, of powerlessness being the point of sorrow. So why? For Gemini? King of Cups. And what goes along with the King of Cups? Justice, the card of Libra. Okay. When we want to do the right thing, want to do the fair and equitable thing, and simultaneously no choice seems like a good choice, what then becomes a good choice, right? For the Gemini that I'm looking at, what's keeping you in a state of like emotional pressure and sorrow over here is wanting the best outcome, the most optimal outcome for everybody involved, and simultaneously you don't know how to get there. That's fair. Justice being the process of equitability, oftentimes represented by the sign Libra, represented by law, order, the process of the due process of getting there. And then you have the Eight of Swords, saying that no matter how I feel or no matter what I've hashed out as being a good process, I don't know how we get from point A to point B, and it's sickening me right now that I don't have the answers. I get it. Process engagement and emotional duality, and being able to pick out the why is your specialty, is your strong suit, that is your sign. But trying to do that for everybody else, that's where it becomes a little bit more complicated. So in saying that we try to find the right answer for everybody, we found no answer at all. Got it. So the Five of Pentacles. Show us cards that we need to see, please, upon the Five of Pentacles in this read. What are the things we felt so left out from? Or at least the thing that's causing a conflict point in materiality. Show us cards we need to see, please, for Gemini in this read. Oh, and that one already came out, so we're going to take that one first. Oh, two of them, actually. Page of Swords. The more I try to sit and learn, the more the answers become less and less clear. Page of Pentacles, we want to try. But what is the last thing going along with it? The Four of Pentacles, the investment. To say all that is underneath your Five of Pentacles, which is that contact point, Gemini. To say you're still feeling left out at this point and that, we'll try another method. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. That Four of Pentacles is no longer a series of accounts or investment chains. That Four of Pentacles is us not being able to let go of the fact that not all outcomes will be great. I get it. You're trying to not hurt anybody's feelings in the situation. You're kind of like the middle point, whether that be, the deciding vote on a project or, a group conflict in a room full of confidants. But the fact of the matter is, us trying to make everybody happy here is going to have vast negative outputs. You can't hold on to everything. And so the more that we try, the more that we feel left out because we're trying to see a situation where everything goes perfect and everything gets resolved. And from what I'm seeing right now, Gemini, if you haven't found it by yet, maybe that's your answer. Let's go to the Five of Wands. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. Boom, there we go. Four of Swords. We cannot let the answer just come to us. We're in a state of activation, worry, busy, and we're not actually being able to meditate and reflect on, okay, what is the right thing to do here? Beyond wanting everybody to feel good and better about themselves, what is the right thing to do here, Gemini? Show me the cards that you need to see, please. You need us to see for Gemini in their ATC read upon the Five of Wands. Two of Cups. What goes along with that Two of Cups? Three of Swords. Well, hooray, you came to a conclusion, but it's going to hit hard. I know whatever this, there's a bond that's going to be broken. Whatever decision that gets made, Gemini, that much is very clear. Whether that be between you and an intimate partner, you and a longtime friend, there's going to be something that's going to need some damage control afterwards. I think when we start to accept that and the reality of it, we could deal with the conflict better. There's a reason all that, the beauty of the bond, the need to relax, so that Four of Swords and the Three of Swords, the notion of sharp heart pain goes all underneath the Five of Wands is because we don't want everybody to get hurt, but there's no situation in which one party in this entire scenario doesn't get massively screwed over. I don't see an outcome, and it's already been said multiple times, but it bears reiterating, Gemini. Us still debating is probably at this point starting to, for lack of a better term, piss off people on all sides. So what are we going to do with that? There's no scenario I'm seeing, at least for right now, that you've come up with where at least one person doesn't get massively hurt or might walk away or feel scorned. I don't see that. But the best way that we can engage in conflict is try to understand why. Because our hesitancy to do everything right now because we want everybody to be happy is making all eyes turn towards you, first and foremost. And secondly, there's a growing level of disdain between everybody and you, surprisingly. And it all comes back down to the fact of we haven't made a productive decision because we keep on trying to search for an answer that may not be there. Lastly, to the Five of Swords. Of the internal monologue and things we feel we just might not be able to get right, show us the cards we need to see, please, by the Five of Swords and Gemini's read. What defines that Five of Swords here in the read today? Feeling a little bit high in here, my gosh. Turn the AC on there. Define the Five of Swords for Gemini in their read. What we see, Nine of Cups. What is true self-fulfillment here? What are we trying to do and why are we trying to do it? Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity presents itself. How so? High Priestess, yeah. Internally, you almost feel bad for coming to the conclusion that you can't do everything at once. You're blaming yourself right now. But you also, when you come to that conclusion that, hey, the best you can do is the best you can do, then internally, you know a new option is going to render itself and come forth. Thing is, you still haven't made a decision yet. So all those, what you feel intuitively of the best path going on right now, it will not come to fruition unless you make the active decision to engage in it. And that's the problem that we're having right now, Gemini. All of that underneath the Five of Swords, yeah, we know it probably will be there, but we're too afraid to make that leap. Underneath it all, the Hierophant. Card of Taurus. This is being recorded at the beginning of Taurus season at time of recording. So with that being said, yeah, here's your guided path. It's not that we don't know the answer, is that no matter what conclusion or best optimal plan or output we have right now, Gemini, somebody's gonna feel scorned and somebody's gonna feel screwed. You can't make everybody happy. Next. Give me one card underneath every 5 in this read. Show us cards that we need to see, please. Define further. One card underneath every 5 in this read. Water, earth, fire, air, baby. What do we got going on? That's a break. Why are we breaking? Why are we breaking? Nice, except for it didn't hit the table. Yeah, all very nice things. However, it's gonna fly out, so I can't take that. Show us cards that we need to see, please, for Gemini in their read. One card with all the 5s. That's a break again. Break one more time on me. I'm gonna say the first thing that comes to mind. There we go. Since those two came out at the same time, I'll take them both. Underneath 5 cups of 5 cups. And the reason being, the Ten of Pentacles. Doesn't make you any better off for having to come to these conclusions. No. I don't think a lot of people in this group level decision have seen the emotional toil it's taken on you, Gemini. However, you know, regardless of what people do or don't see, it's going to set a pattern and precedent going forward. It's going to have some rippling waves and impacts. Ten of Pentacles coming out. Underneath 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. There we go. There we go again. We keep on trying to tell ourselves we don't have the answer. No, we do have the answer. It's just not the likable one. You can't make everybody happy. Underneath the 5 of Wands, Strength, the card of Leo. Okay, there we go. There we go. And once we say that, hey, this is not sustainable, I can't worry about trying to make everybody happy in this situation. What do I do and what do I do proper? And do I have a contingency plan for it? I can start to harness my power from within and my fortitude to stand on that decision instead of pretending I'd have no stake in the matter. And lastly, underneath 5, Queen of Wands. Okay. Underneath that 5 of Swords is the Queen of Wands. We want to eventually get to that space of saying, no, I did the right thing. We made the best and most equitable call. How will we move forward from there? We're just not there yet. But when we start to really engage with that uncomfortable conversation, we can start making better decisions. Underneath it all, 3 of Wands. Fast acting or fast approaching, that decision is coming up very soon for you, Gemini. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Okay. And as we move towards resolution, to find the major arcana, swing across the table on the read, we will first look towards justice, the card of Libra. In Gemini's ATC read, what is going on with the equitability of this entire scenario that's just eating away at Gemini? We start here and move forward. That's a soft break, so I'll just do one more. Where the cards we need to see, please. First, looking towards the justice, and we move forward. Yeah. Eight of Wands, direct communication. Yeah. Yeah, you're the tiebreaker, Gemini. You are the tiebreaker in this scenario, and there's no getting out of it. And because you are the tiebreaker, you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings. Got it. This makes absolute sense. I was right. Next to the High Priestess, what do we know? What is our voice saying internally? Two of Wands. We have to make an intentional plan here. No pretending like we're just a passive onlooker. That's not an option. Not anymore. Not right now. To Strength, the card of Leo. Queen of Cups. Whatever decision that is made, understand it's coming from your best of heart, Gemini. It really is. Is it the prettiest answer? No, because at the end of the day, somebody gonna get hurt. And you're doing your best to already do preemptive damage control, but you gotta let a decision be made. Otherwise, it's gonna be made for you. And with where things stand right now, everybody's already on edge because you are the tiebreaker. That's just where it's at. In resolution, the Sun. Happiness can and will be here eventually. Why so? Four of Cups. We just had to deal with the disdain of right now. The uncomfortability of here and now. Underneath it all, Eight of Swords, a notion of powerlessness. Well, that's going to be challenged because that Three of Wands, a decision must be made very soon. And whatever path that we lead on, we got to stick with it. Hierophant, the card of Taurus. That's just how it plays out. So what do we see in your read today, Gemini? You are the tiebreaker in a group level conflict where you're trying to make everybody happy, and by extension, right now, nobody is happy, and they're all looking towards you to solve, or at least being the final arbiter or decision maker in the process. Thing is, the more we delay, the more that everybody's starting to hate us. And again, I know you're trying to be fair. You're trying to consider everybody's emotions and the validity of everybody's argument or everybody's standpoint. However, no decision getting made is also a decision. We're not a passive participant in this anymore, Gemini. If people are looking towards you, then we got to call space somewhere. What are we choosing and how are we doing it? Because we know that eventually things can work out, be better, be nicer, and we probably wouldn't be put in this position again. However, it doesn't change our here and now. In the here and now, it doesn't feel good. But simultaneously, once we can start to accept the fact that, yeah, no path leaves everybody untouched and happy. There's no conceivable path where everything goes right. Then we can accept what may in fact go wrong and already do the damage control, or already set up a scenario where, no, we could heal this, we could fix this, just give it time, trust that process. The sun will come back out eventually, but right now we gotta deal with the space between a rock and a hard place. You're the tiebreaker. That's what it is. That's what I got in your read today, Gemini. Hope this conversation helped. And yeah, is it a fun position to be in? Absolutely not. But will you still have to make a decision? Absolutely. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.